Hey everybody, it's Alex here from Carnivore for Life. Welcome to my first ever live stream video. I'm excitedly nervously excited because guess who's here today? Kerry from HomesteadHow. Welcome, Kerry.
Thank you, Alex. I'm so happy to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Great. Right. Who would have thought 16 months ago I would be 3 stone lighter, you'd be a couple of stone lighter as well, and we'd be doing a YouTube video together. It's just fantastic. It's almost surreal, but I'm having a great time. So, Kerry, I know a lot of our viewers will know who you are. Please introduce yourself and tell us all about the whole world of HomesteadHow.
Absolutely. Yeah, so my name is Kerry. I've run a YouTube channel called HomesteadHow for over 8 years now. And I started carnivore diet about 170 days ago. And I was going to just do one video, my 30-day update. And I put that video out and it seemed to really resonate with people. I got just an incredible amount of comments from people that were kind of inspired by what happened to me on carnivore over 30 days. And I guess just to quickly recap, I'm on day 170 now, so a lot more has changed. But in the 170 days, I'm almost at 6 months now. I'm down 100 pounds since my heaviest. And I overcame depression and anxiety. I had IBS. I had acid reflux. Those are all completely gone on carnivore. I have this big thing of pills I always show people. I was on so much medication for so many years. The biggest thing that changed for me on carnivore was the depression and anxiety. I was clinically depressed. I was on every SSRI and anti-anxiety medicine for many, many years. They would try one and it didn't work, and then they would try another and another. I'm on none of those anymore. And I have no depression and I have zero anxiety anymore. It's really quite amazing living a life with no anxiety, especially when I've had it my whole life. It's kind of crazy. I also had really bad. Yeah.
I was about to say that on our first interview together, we mirrored each other so much on the health issues and what we've overcome. I mean, I'm on day 492 today. I mean, I'm old enough to be your dad, as I keep saying, or you're my much younger brother. But as I say, it's so not reassuring, but that sort of relief that this thing can work for anybody. And, you know, as I say, you're just a perfect example of what carnivore is all about.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, you could be my dad, but you look more like my brother. Because Alex and I are streaming this to my channel and his. If anyone isn't familiar with Alex, I just got to shout you out quick. You're 65 now, right?
65 last week, yeah.
It's unbelievable. You look so much younger. And I have Alex, this is kind of creepy, but I have Alex's picture on my phone and I show it to everybody because your story is just so amazing. So I've been so blessed. I was able to do a video with Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, and all those guys. I'm like, this is the Dr. Barry finger, by the way. This means I have something important to say. 1 second. So I showed Dr. Barry. I was like, you got to see this guy, Alex. And I think I'm trying to remember. I think he guessed you were in your 40s, maybe.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. Yeah.
It was so cool. And I really love what Dr. Barry said, because I was like, look, Dr. Barry, Alex has reversed aging with carnivore diet. And he put his finger up like this. No, Kerry. Yeah. Alex is what a proper natural human at 65 years of age would look like if they ate the proper human diet. It's just that all the other 65-year-olds look like they're 75 or 85 because they're eating inflammatory foods and they're not eating the proper human diet. So
I agree. That was the one thing that was an epiphany moment for me. And I did pinch one of your videos, as you know, but it's only when I started after about 6 months of doing carnivore and all the weight loss, then the mental and the physical, I started to notice other people around me when I went shopping or if I look after my stepdad, going to the hospital. I know it's not the best place to look for healthy people, but everybody looked really on death's door. And I felt uncomfortable being in those places, but, you know, it just reassured me so much that this was definitely the thing to do. Crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So as I say, we're definitely on the same journey, and it's nice that I'm just your older brother, not your dad. Right. So let's carry on. I know you're really busy, crazy busy, mate. I just don't know how you fit it all in. So I've got some great questions for you. You know, you're incredibly busy, and I'm grateful for your time. A little birdie told me, a little birdie called YouTube, that it was your birthday the other day. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. A couple days ago.
34?
Yeah.
Oh, no, 43.
Mix them around there. I feel like I'm 34. I feel like I'm younger than 34, but no, it was my 43rd birthday.
Oh,
And
happy birthday for that.
thank you. I'm so excited because this is the first year where I feel, I said this in an earlier video, but I feel like a natural, proper human. I'm excited for age 43. It's like a new chapter in my life now. One of the biggest things that I overcame with carnivore was the brain fog. And I had that so bad. And I tell people that, and they're like, oh, wait, I got that too. When I say brain fog, it's like struggling to find your words. I would tell my girls, like, hey, go empty the dishwasher. But I couldn't think of the word dishwasher. So I'd be like, go empty the thing that turns, and I could never find my words. But I really believe leading up to age 43, so much of my life has just gone by like that. We have triplets plus one, and the triplets are driving now, which I still can't wrap my brain around. And then my oldest, Lily, is going to college. She's out of high school. It all happened so quick. I know life goes by quickly for so many people, but I feel like over the last 6 months that I've been doing carnivore, I'm much more in the moment and my brain is much more present. And I think it's because I don't have that brain fog. And it's just a huge life changer. I always say to people, and I really mean this, like you, Alex, when you look around and you see all these people suffering and they're so unhealthy, it's like you just deserve to live at least one day of your entire life feeling like I feel or feeling like Alex feels without any of that inflammation or brain fog or depression. So yeah, hopefully we'll get the word out and people will at least give it.
Can I touch on that? I mean, I do feel, as I said before, decades younger, not just a few years younger. I can remember being in my 30s when Sophie was born in 1992, and my life at the time was just wonderful. Everything was great, fantastic marriage, fantastic baby coming along, everybody young, healthy and fresh. And that's how I feel today. I mean, I get up earlier now, like you do. Well, you've always got up early, but I used to sleep in till 9, 10, 11, and now I'm getting up at 5:30, 6:30. Obviously, with today's live stream, I got up really early. I wrote out a script. I've been talking to the contractors doing the bathroom, and the day has been like 48 hours. It's just really strange. And as you say, you do so much more, and with your time, you're not wasting your time, and you get so much more production, purpose. And I think that's the main thing. Is for me, it's given me that purpose. I mean, I know you had a purpose anyway because you've got a homestead, but I can see from your videos that you do so much more, and it's so much more positive, and you get so much more benefits. I just touch on a list. I was watching your live stream yesterday, and this really resonated with me about you quoted the proverb. And when I first started carnivore, I was like, I want to tell the whole world. I want to get the microphone. I want to go on Facebook. I used to do it and get nothing. I would talk to people and they put up that stone wall thinking, what's this guy talking about? They could see I'd lost weight. They could see me energy. They could see, probably I wasn't looking my age, but it just doesn't go in because of our programming. So when you said this, you went, do not withhold goods from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. And I went, wow, that's a great line to say, because this is where YouTube and other social platforms give you that vehicle that you can't do face to face. So thanks for putting that on yesterday. That was really good.
Yeah. I read that at church on Sunday on my birthday, and it stood out to me like so importantly. I feel like this was a passion doing the one video, and it's turned into more of a responsibility, especially with the mental health issues I had. At one point in my life, I was just so hopeless. Like there was nothing. There's no way out of this. And it was this the whole time. This is the only thing that's gotten me over depression. Every depression medication I was on barely touched it. This is the only thing. So I know there's so many hopeless people out there. So yeah, it's turned from a passion and kind of a fun little thing to do YouTube videos onto. It's a responsibility to reach more people.
Yeah, I mean, I was a subscriber on HomesteadHow before you did your 30-day video, and I used to watch them. I've watched them since. I've watched them all like more intently, and you had your energy levels, but you just didn't seem like the same guy. Obviously weight wise, a bit like myself, it's incredible, the transformation. But
just one thing on that. I appreciate you saying that. So I've been doing YouTube videos for 8 years now. I actually had someone leave a comment the other day to me, and he's like, "You weren't that overweight before. I watched one of your videos from 2 years ago." I said to him, though, now watch the video from like 3 months after that, because so I had success with keto on and off for years. I'm doing a video next week. It's called How to Stop Yo-Yo Dieting. I was on keto and I would go up and down and up and down. And there's some videos you haven't even seen yet, or maybe you have, but I haven't seen this video in years. I was just huge. But then like 3 or 4 months later, going back down again and then back up again. But
that's so exactly. Cool. That's so exactly. Cool. Go on. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, it's so cool that you watched the homesteading videos earlier. My friend JT from Poco Moonshine Family, he was watching the homesteading videos too. He saw the carnivore videos, started doing carnivore, and he's thriving. Actually, just a quick side note, he's coming to the homestead. He lives in Wisconsin. So he's coming here this afternoon at 1 o'clock. I don't know if he's more excited to chat carnivore or see the homestead, because it's so funny. He's quoting things like, "Oh, you remember that one time in the homestead video where you did this?" And I was like, "No, actually, I don't. I've done 600 videos, so I don't remember that one." He knows my content more than I do, but it's going to be really fun. We're going to do a video together, tour in the homestead with JT, so that'll be kind of fun.
Well, JT's cool. He's reached out to me. We're going to do either a Q&A or we're going to do a live stream soon. So obviously, I wanted to be with the main man today just to get my nerves out the way and just to get all that excitement. I mean, I'm looking at myself on the screen and I just feel euphoric. It's just so surreal talking to yourself, and I know this is going to go out, and I don't know. You can tell I'm really happy carnivore. So talking about the keto, and I mean, I'm the same. I look at all my old photographs and I put on my shorts online, and you can see when I was 57, and I look back and think, but I wasn't like that a couple of years ago. I had lost weight, then I put it on again, and it's this thing that we're all going through, or maybe 90% of the populations. We are just yo-yoing. I've got friends who do Slimming World, and they do really well, but as soon as they stop and go into the the cheats, or the what's it called? What did they call them? You have a cheat day. It all disappears, and that's what really frustrates me. So my first question for you was, you did do keto for years. What made you take the step up to carnivore, or who made you make that step?
Well, so I did keto for years, and I have a picture of my wife Jen and I from about 10 or 12 years ago, and we were both, I wasn't this healthy and fit, but I was pretty darn close, and that was from doing keto. And I remember vividly that day, all those days, thinking, thank goodness I finally gotten down to my goal weight. I'm never going to gain the weight back. 3 months later, 6 months later, whatever it was, gained it all back, all of it and then more. And what I found doing keto is you get down to, I'm learning this now too on carnivore, by the way, Alex. You get down to your goal weight on either keto or carnivore or whatever you're doing. You get rid of that body fat, because when you're in keto, you're burning your body fat for fuel. You don't have to eat as much. I am ravenously hungry now that I've gotten down to my goal weight. It's been eye-opening for me, because for 6 months on carnivore, it's been really steady. Like, I'll eat here, I'll forget to eat, whatever. Now I'm hungry all the time. That happened too when I lost the weight on keto. People don't realize that. Oh, I got down to my goal weight. Well, now you're going to be way more hungry because you burned all that fat down. So it's very easy to ruin a keto diet. The other thing that I did on keto and other people do to gain all the weight back in yo-yo is you get down to that weight and you're like, good, I figured it out. I'm down to that weight. Now I'm got to go back into moderation because you're ravenously hungry. And what happens when you do moderation? Everything in the grocery store has sugar and seed oils and garbage in it. And even if you have good intentions, like I did when I started eating in moderation, I was like, I'm just going to have some strawberries. Those are low glycemic index, not too bad for you. I couldn't do it. I ate a little bit of strawberries, and then I'm like ravenously hungry for more and more and more of that. And I try to hold back, and you do for a while, but then it slowly creeps back in and you gain it all back. That I've learned sugar is an addictive drug. Even if it's in strawberries or fruit, and it leads to more sugar and more processed food, and you gain it all back. And I believe that's why I yo-yoed so long. And so keto wasn't working for me. I needed to find something else. And how I found carnivore was through a video from Dante from Ferrigno Freedom. I was watching it with Jen. I was oh man, I was way overweight, very unhealthy. This was almost literally 170 days ago. I watched that video, maybe a little bit longer. I watched it and he was saying, his video was from 2 years ago. And it was saying, I'm going to do this meat only carnivore diet. And I was like, wow, that's interesting because I've had success with keto. But I was also saying, wow, that's insane. You can't sustain eating only meat. You're going to get sick of it. It can't be good for you to not have moderation. There's no way. And I was really cynical. And I noticed the video was from 2 years prior. So I'm like, I said to Jen, I was like, let's fast forward. Let's go back to his channel and find his most recent video. There's no way this guy's doing carnivore for 2 years. We went to his most recent video. I literally was in bed clapping. I was so excited for Dante. Completely transformed. He stuck to it for 2 years and he looked like a different human. And it wasn't just the weight loss. It was the other things like you were saying, Alex, just being so happy, just having a whole new mood. His face was glowing. He had a permanent smile on his face and everything looked different. So I saw that and I was like, there is something to this. However, Dr. Berryfinger, this is still insane, and I can't just do all of this. So I went down the Dr. Berry route. I always do this Dr. Berryfinger, and his thumbnails, he's always doing this, and it's just kind of cool. It's kind of funny, but it's like, hey, wait a minute, I've got something important to say. And Dr. Berry, in most of his videos, he has something important and worthwhile listening to. I watched probably every one of his videos. Like I have an obsessive compulsive disorder or something, but I just kept watching more and more videos, still thinking this Dr. Berry guy's a scam artist, just trying to talk myself out of it. He's telling people to eat bacon. There's no way. And I'm like, what is this guy selling? What is his motives? And long story short, I came across the type 2 diabetes video he did. It was called Reversing Type 2 Diabetes with Dr. Berry. And there was 2,000 comments on it. And I teared up reading the comments because almost every comment was, Dr. Berry, you saved my life. I've reversed my type 2 diabetes. This was my A1C before. This was after. This was my weight before. This was after. I was in a mobility scooter. I'm walking. Someone said, in 10 minutes, Dr. Berry, listening to your video and taking your advice, it helped me more than going to my own doctor for 10 years, where I was fumbling around and stumbling around, listening to my doctor telling me, oh, you can have a little bit of sugar. You can have a little bit of fruit. You can do it this way, failure after failure. So that was what ultimately convinced me. And I guess the last thing on it was this. I still couldn't wrap my brain around, oh, I'm just going to eat meat. But I said to myself this, I can do anything for 30 days. And then I rephrased it. I didn't say I'm going to eat meat for 30 days. I said, I'm doing an elimination diet. I'm getting rid of all of that other junk for 30 days. No more sugar, no more seed oils, no more dyes. Ultimately, it's the same thing as eating only meat, but rephrasing it psychologically in my brain, it was a lot easier to stomach. And I was like, I can eliminate all that junk. That's like a no-brainer. And so I started doing it. And like within the first week or so, this is the craziest thing. I tell people this and they don't believe me, but and part of this is because I was doing keto a little bit before this, but the first day on carnivore, I stopped snoring for the first time. And people are like, oh yeah, I'm sure you did. My wife said, you didn't snore last night. And she knows I snore because I do it every night. I was on a CPAP machine for years. I have to strap a mask around my head and push air through my airway because I would stop breathing hundreds of times throughout the night. All went away. And that's one of my big epiphanies on carnivore. I've heard so many people say the same thing, including Dr. Jordan Peterson. First week, he stopped snoring. That's life-changing alone. I tell people that was worth my price of admission alone, but
absolutely,
that's how I found it.
Yeah, what amazes me is the speed of the change. Paula, I mentioned her because she gave me a couple of questions for you today. She's our friend, but she's also a tradeswoman and she fits bathrooms, etc. So she's been in the house for about a week. We haven't had a bathroom, so I've been going to our neighbors. Crazy, but she said to me, Al, you look fantastic, etc. She's watched all my videos, she's watched all your videos, and she's been carnivore since the 1st of September. And now, what date's 5th today? And she said, Al, every morning before she starts work, because she's hammering things and everything, she has to get her fingers going because she thinks she's getting rheumatoid arthritis. She said, I've had no pain since the 2nd day. And I'm like, I don't know what to say to her. I said, well, just keep it going for that month. So she's a bit OCD on things like we are. And she's brought in a lunch today. Oh, so you brought in a lunch yesterday and it was all burgers. And I did her a full cooked breakfast today. And I can see, like, she's only in her 30s. I think she looks, she's radiant, and she's more excited than me and you. But so that's another great story to tell. Yes, on my second question now, I don't think we're going to get through these today, are we? Me and you just talk too much. And I've noticed that you're a Virgo as well. Me and Shell are Virgos, and I'm not into all that astrology stuff, but I do find I have an affinity with people who are born in August and September. So on the health benefits, what out of all the ones that we've talked about on our other interview and today, what would you say is the most significant and valuable benefit you've had?
It's either one or two. I have trouble answering this. It's either the sleep or the depression and anxiety. And the only reason I say two is because I think those are interlinked together and people don't realize it. But the getting over the depression and anxiety has been huge for me. I had such bad anxiety before this. I would never do a phone call like this. Phone calls were my big trigger for anxiety. And in my previous job, I worked for like 10 years. I would have to be on phone calls with people every day. Every single day, just the heart racing, adrenaline flowing. I've said it before on the channel, but I'd go on a lunch break before a phone call, and I would literally be like, I could just carefully crash my car into this tree, and then I could get out of this call, and that would be amazing. And I had that thought over and over again. So, and I have no anxiety. I joked around when I talked to Dr. Barry, my heart was racing a little bit, but it was almost a different type of anxiety. It was just like, the gravity and the importance of the situation of talking to him versus just being needlessly scared for no reason. And all of that anxiety, I know so many people suffer from it. What a waste. All of the things I worried about for 42 years, none of them ever came to fruition and needed to be worried about. None of them. It's such an unnatural thing.
Yeah. Michelle always talks about, my wife, she says, fear, false expectation appearing real, that we throw these things into our brain from all sorts of sources, media, whatever we have in the world, politics, and it scares us to death, and it's so unnecessary. I mean, today I was like walking in the kitchen thinking an hour to go before I speak to Kerry, and I'm thinking, I've spoken to this guy already, loads of times we've been communicating on Messenger. I'm thinking, stop it, just embrace the moment and just really enjoy yourself. So on the mental side, it is very hard for people to talk about these things because the societies we live in, it's frowned upon, isn't it? Yeah, it's a shame. Right, what are my next one? What's my next one? I haven't seen my doctor for 5 years before or after all the lockdowns in the UK. My question is, have you had any discussions with your doctor about your diet choice? And if you have, what was his reaction or her reaction, and any guidance?
So I'm coming up on 6 months, and I've heard from a lot of people, don't go get your blood work and all that done until 6 months. I just scheduled it. So great question.
Right.
Well, first, I'm getting my blood work done on Thursday, and good or bad, whatever, the truth, I'm sharing all of that with people.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great.
Yep. And then the other thing is this is the craziest thing, Alex. So I've talked about all my health issues, but one thing that I haven't talked about too much is I have heart disease. It's called a low ejection fraction. I've been diagnosed with, come on, carnivore brain. Congestive heart failure, which sounds horrible. It's like, oh my goodness, he's dying. But I have a slight version of, I'm just over the borderline where I'm diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I've been on medication for years, and I have an irregular heartbeat. I've had that since I was a child. In kindergarten, at school, when I first started going to school, I just put all of these monitors on. Every year I've worn a heart monitor. Long story short, I'm going in to get checked out for that in particular because I'm pretty confident it's back to regular for the first time in my entire life. Jen and I were watching TV the other day, and she had her head on my chest. We were laying in bed watching TV, and she's like, your heart isn't doing the irregular beat anymore. Jen and I have been together for 30 years since we were 14. So she knows me. She's been to many of my doctor's appointments. She's like, your heart isn't doing that weird heartbeat anymore. I think it's regular. I actually went to Walgreens and I bought a stethoscope and I was listening to it and it sounds normal. Of course, I'm not a doctor. It was a cheaper stethoscope, so it wasn't that good, but I'm going to go into the heart doctor and get that checked out. And I'm going to get with the regular family physician checkout. And on Thursday, through a different company, I'm getting all the blood work done. So I'm going to share all of those things. But the heart thing makes me mad. A lot of this stuff makes me mad and I get fired up. But it's just like I was seeing a cardiologist all the time, like throughout the last 10 years or so, I would see them every so often because of these heart conditions. I was on 2 different types of heart medication, and I was on keto on and off. He's never told me, this is one thing I've learned on carnivore, is when your body's in ketosis, your heart functions much more efficiently. And it's not even argued. It's like, that's just science. You can look it up. Your heart functions better when you're in ketosis. I never knew that. And I'm not saying that that's going to fix people's heart's condition or it would fix mine. But had I known that and being on and off keto, if the doctor or the cardiologist would have said that to me, I'd have been like, well, hey, there's one more reason to stick to keto sort of thing. And they never said that to me. And now I strongly believe that my irregular heartbeat has corrected itself. Furthermore, I guess one last thing, sorry, I get fired up with this, is we talked about church the other day, right? So we go to church, rarely miss it, every Sunday. And for years before carnivore, when you're in church, you stand up and you sing, and then you sit down, and you stand up and you sit down, over and over again. And before this, every time I would stand up, I was thanking goodness for the pew in front of me, the pew in front of me, because I'd have something to hold on to. I would stand up, I would get so lightheaded, I'd start seeing stars and I'd get dizzy, and I would almost pass out every single time. And I'd have to hold on to the chair in front of me, the pew in front of me. I don't do that anymore on carnivore. For the last 6 months, we were just at church, up and down, up and down. I even whispered to Jen today, I was like, nothing. Like, even sometimes it would just be slightly, like a little bit seeing stars, none of that anymore. So I really believe my heart is functioning much better than it was before. But I am going to see the doctor, and I'm definitely going to show all that on YouTube.
Yeah, it's great to hear. I mean, I had a heart arrhythmia maybe 20 years ago. I was doing insurance. The doctor turned up to the house, and Alex, do you know your heart misses a beat every minute? And I was like, it's because I'm in love with Michelle. The fact is, he said, it's not your heart's strong. He said, but it's very, very common. But wasn't given any medication, wasn't given any advice on nutrition. I just got over it myself. My next question actually is about your health still. You're under the spotlight today. I remember your video where you got your box of medications out, okay, and it was full. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I took a lot of medication, but this guy's really on it. How many meds were you on at one time before you got rid of them all?
It's hard for me to even answer that. So I guess it depends on at what point in my life, because some of them fluctuated. But at one point, I was on SSRI for depression, anti-anxiety medication. I was on medication for acid reflux at the same time. I was on medicine for gout, which that was one of the biggest things that you asked me earlier, what convinced me to do carnivore. That was one of the biggest things I kind of glazed over before. I had gout, or they told me it was gout, for 18 months in my right foot. Hurt so bad I could barely step down. They tried like 4 different types of meds for the gout. None of those worked for me. I was also on, let's see. I think probably at one time I was maybe on 7 or 8 meds at one time. But there was more in that box because they would try one and it didn't work. And then they would switch to another, and then they would up the dosage, and then they'd switch to another. A lot of the meds in that container were SSRIs, and those are for antidepressant. And for me, if those help people, I'm so thankful if people can get any relief. They did not help me. And it was the worst thing, because when you're at your lowest low and you go to the doctor and they're like, you could try this SSRI, it's going to take 3 months before we know if it works or not. I'm like, I don't know if I can make it through the day. And you're telling me I have to wait 3 months. I did it for 3 months. I did exactly what they said. I took the medication, did nothing for me. After 3 months, they're like, let's just up the dosage. Did nothing. And then they switched the dosage. So a lot of those were, I think I've tried every SSRI over years. We'll switch to this one now. We'll switch to this one. And so. It's
crazy. Well, my stepdad's on about 9 meds at the moment. He's diabetic 2. He's 85. Still working, but he's not as well as he used to be. And I think half the medications are prescribed to counteract the side effects of the other medications.
Yes.
And I've said to him about my diet, and he said to me, "Oh, have you lost weight?" I said, "You come up here all the time." I showed him one of my shorts off my YouTube channel, and he was like, "Geez, he did was it? He was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "Alan, because you're so used to seeing me all the time and that familiarity, you can't see those, those gradual creeping up changes." I said, "But it's not just how my appearance, I just feel decades younger. And I was trying to get that message across to him again, like you talked about the proverb, but he's like, I can't be bothered. I said, but you can be bothered being sick. You can be bothered, you can't get out of bed. You can be bothered being sick all the time, and you've got no energy. Here's a solution for you. But when again you get that, I'm too old, I'm too this. And so that's, as I say, that's why I'm so excited about this particular, vehicle for us to get the message across.
Yes.
Yeah. So, right. How long have we got, by the way?
Oh, I'm free until about noon. I got plenty of time. Don't worry about it. JT's
great. So
later.
I asked family and friends to give me some questions. So I'm gonna do a quick fire round for you. So you don't have to talk. For 10 minutes like we both do, because I'm a rambler. So it's just quick questions. So the first one, there's 10 questions. So it's a bit like those quizzes on TV that you watch. Like, okay, Kerry, how old are you?
43.
How tall are you?
5'10".
Same as me. What year did you get married?
Oh, jeez. Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble here.
I know, testing the brain fog.
We were married in 2005.
Okay. Next one.
Real quick. Okay. I know this is quick, but real quick. The reason it's confusing for me is because we've been together since we were 14. We had an anniversary when we were 14. Then we got married. Then we switched it. Then we renewed our vows. So I have like 5 things to remember. So even a carnivore can't keep track of all of that.
Excellent. Right. These are not my questions, by the way. Okay. Next one. What was your first job after school?
McDonald's.
Wow. Have you traveled abroad? And if you have, which countries?
Yes. When I've traveled to Germany, France, Switzerland, Austria. When I was 14, my mom was a travel agent. So
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Excellent. Favorite steak?
Ribeye.
Yeah, me too. How did you meet Jen?
We met through my cousin when we were 14 years old. My cousin introduced us. We met at the mall, and we've been together ever since. That was almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, wow. Love at first sight. Me and Shell have been together 38. I was living in London. I came up to Liverpool to see my brother, show him off my new car. Michelle was walking down the street. I went, God, she looks nice. And he went, oh, it's Paul. It's his girlfriend's best friend. So what did I do? I pulled over, beep, beep. She put her face through the window. It was a wind down window because it was a long time ago. And I went, oh, I just melted. I was just turned to jelly. And she was talking that Liverpool accent. I mean, mine had gone a little bit because I was living in London. And I was thinking, how am I going to meet this girl again? And so I told my brother how nice she was. She told his girlfriend how nice I was. And he did a little blind date for us the week after. And the rest is history. So yes, we got a similar path, haven't we? Okay, next question. Any brothers or sisters?
Yes, 2. Well, one's both sisters. One's 2 years younger, and one's 2 years older. All September birthdays, by the way, and both, by the way, I'm proud to say, are carnivores now.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've spoken to one of your sisters. She's really nice online. Is your mum still carnivore?
Yes.
Excellent. And this is not my question because I do know the answer. Is Jen carnivore?
No, she tried it, and now she's doing keto. She's thriving on keto and slowly trying to get back to carnivore, which if she would listen to her husband, who loves her very much, the first time she would have done it this way. I was like, Jen, you've got to start in keto and then go to carnivore, because she was vegetarian before that for years. So not quite carnivore yet, but she's killing it on keto right now. She's doing really well.
Yeah, I've been watching all the shorts. As you say, I think I'm OCD on YouTube as well. Okay, so what time is it? Yeah, we've been talking 35 minutes. Crazy.
Hey, one last thing real quick. Just a quick shout out, but I have a video going live later today, and it's talking just about keto and carnivore and Jen, and a little friendly argument we got into about it, because there's some things with keto that I think are really important that people need to know. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that video. It's going to go live later today, but if people want to know more, it seems like there's a lot of people that take that path keto to carnivore. So it'll be a fun video. What
time's the video kicking off?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that. Not to do a shameless plug, but Element is sponsoring the video, and I don't get a penny from that. That's all going to the Carnivore Diet documentary. They have to approve the video, and because yesterday was a holiday here, I'm waiting for them to approve it. Once they approve it, it will. So probably in the afternoon sometime.
Yeah, great. You must be reading my mind. My next question is back to the original list. It's from Paula. I'm going to mention it again today. Paula Lawless, her name is. I think she wants to do a video with me next month to just like look at her first month and see how it's gone. So her question is, and the weirdest thing is, she comes into the house, she asks for water, and she puts elements. It's crazy, isn't it? So I said, "Oh, it's great that you're having that." So she said to me, "Do you take it?" And I said, "No, I only use magnesium glycinate." So her question is, she started carnivore the 1st September. She's feeling great, as I said. She's taking elements. Should she take it every day or only when she's fatigued?
My suggestion would be when you're first starting, I would say maybe the first 2 weeks or so. I took it every day. You do not want to get that keto flu. And some people are just fine. I think Dr. Chafee is like, yeah, you could do with it or without it. It's not a big deal, but it seems like it helped me. And now since then, I stopped doing it, where now I would just do it when I work out, or if I start feeling any cramps or fatigue, I would drink some of it. But I've since gone back to that once I hit my goal weight. So for the last 2 weeks or so, every day I fill this up with water. I do that anyways. And I just put a couple drops of, or not drops, the powder, the element powder in there, mix it in. I just do it every day. A lot of people don't know, because you can take that whole element pack and put it in there. That's pretty overpowering. You don't have to use the whole thing. And I don't use the whole thing. I just put a little bit in there. I can barely even taste it. It's probably unnecessary, but I seem to feel better that way. And I've also heard other people, Dr. Hampton was saying, if you get cravings, sometimes that's due to electrolytes. When I get cravings, I eat bacon, but
Me too.
I think the element can help you.
Yeah, so that was basically her question to me in the garden yesterday was, shall I put the whole lot in? Because she puts the whole lot and she's like,
Too much.
So I said, well, I'll ask my friend Kerry from HomesteadHow. So yeah, thanks for that. And I think I'm all done. So what I want to do next is talk about two things. We've got a 24-hour live stream telethon, or carnathon, shall I call it? That's on the 16th of September. So I'd like you to talk about that in a minute. And then obviously, hopefully that will lead into something I'm really, really excited about, the Carnivore Diet movie. So just tell us about the 16th of September, please, Kerry.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming up quick too. So September 16th, starting at 8 Eastern, we are doing a 24-hour live stream. And the purpose of the live stream is just because it's going to be fun to gather a whole bunch of carnivore enthusiasts and doctors and YouTubers in one place. But the ultimate goal is to raise the remaining funds we need to fund the Carnivore Diet documentary that I've been working on. And I guess just real quick, if people aren't familiar with that, it's we have a website set up. It's carnivoredietmovie.com. And the goal of the documentary isn't to say you need to be doing carnivore. Rather, it's just showing the real world documented examples of people doing carnivore. And we want to track them for 1 year. And then it's not just obesity, people that have mental health issues, type 2 diabetes, women's health, reproductive health, heart health. Aging is going to be a huge part of it. I can't wait to do the aging section. So we've already started filming it. My daughter Emma and I went out and we filmed Bill. A lot of people here probably know Bill. If you don't, please just go on YouTube and type in Bill Knott, N-O-T-T. He found me through YouTube and left me this comment. And he's 700 pounds, stuck in his house for 4 years, and he was hopeless. And he wanted to start carnivore, not because he saw my videos. He actually watched Dr. Berry videos, but he ended up on my video. He ended up leaving me a comment for some reason. My message resonated with him and vice versa. And long story short, because I could go on forever about Bill, it's a crazy story. We ended up connecting. I ended up flying out to Alaska to start filming the start of his carnivore journey. And I think he's right around day 40 now. He's just killing it. A lot of the things you were saying, Alex, earlier, even in the first week or so, his inflammation started going down, which was just huge. He's able to walk. He's trapped in his house for 4 years. He was actually trapped in his bed for 4 years. He would walk to the bathroom once or twice a day, and it was excruciating and it was dangerous. And if he fell over, like, I don't even know what would have happened. He's able to already do those things so much better on carnivore. So I'm sorry, I'm rambling now. Carnivore Diet movie is for people like Bill. There's millions of Bills out there in the world. They're hopeless. They think there's no other alternative, and not just for weight loss, type 2 diabetes, all these things. So We're following real people for 1
Yeah.
year. The 24-hour live stream on the 16th is to help raise the remaining funds we need. The goal with this is we're doing awesome on YouTube. Dr. Barry, Alex, myself, we're all doing YouTube videos. We're reaching people, but we're reaching a fraction of the people we could reach. There's so many more people on these big streaming services that just sit down on TV and they don't watch YouTube like we do. They're watching it on Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO. Our goal is to get the documentary on one of the big streaming services. The goal is to reach millions of people that are hopeless and say, here is something that's changed my life and changed these other people's lives, and share that with them. So the 24-hour live stream too, I keep telling people this documentary is not mine. It's our documentary. This carnivore community is amazing. We have a whole team of volunteers like Adam from Carnivore Today, Alia Wells, so many more people. JT, Graham, all these people helping behind the scenes for this thing. But it's going to be one heck of an event. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. More credit to Adam and Ali and the whole team, because they're arranging these things. We have such a crazy lineup. The very first guest, Dante from Frigno Freedom, who inspired me to do carnivore. But we have Dr. Tony Hudson, I always call him Hudson, Dr. Tony Hampton. Dr. Tony Hampton, who's amazing. Dr. Barry, we're still waiting to schedule him, but he's booked. Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee's going to be on for a couple hours. We have Amanda from Carnivorous Me. We have, it's such a lineup. Dave Mack is going to be there. Bella Steak and Butter Gal. Sean from Intentional Carnivore, the man that lost over 245 pounds in 1 year. He's co-hosting it with me. He's going to be on the full 24 hours. And like every hour, there's just another, I didn't even scratch the surface with that list. Every hour, there's another just really interesting, amazing guest. And we're going to have different themes throughout it. So we're going to talk about carnivore coaching. We're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about aging. So there's going to be lots of different themes. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be sharing the schedule on it pretty soon. So yeah, I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, can I just say thank you as well? I've been invited. I'm going to be appearing. I think it's 8 a.m. UK time on the Sunday. So nice and early for me.
Early for you. And I did a live stream with Dr. Barry at that same time, or Dr. Chafee at that same time a while ago. And it went nuts because I think everyone in England's waking up on that side of the planet. This is a worldwide event. So we got people like US time coming on, but then the next morning, I'm really looking forward to when Alex is coming on. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always fun chatting with you.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. It's I still blush when you show my picture. Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm out of questions. Is there anything you want to talk about? Well, besides what we talked about so far?
Yeah, well, let me think. If there's anyone else watching this that wants to participate in the carnivore diet movie, I'm just letting people know it's not done. We started filming build, but you can still go to carnivoredietmovie.com, which Alex has on the bottom of the screen there, and you can register for free, and you can put your story in there. This is even if you've already started carnivore and you're a couple months into it. So the goal is to follow people for a year. But we're also, if you've already gone a couple months, but you got a good story and maybe you've been documenting and you have pictures, we're still interested in that. So please do that. And then I guess the only other thing I want to mention, I don't know if I kind of glazed over this, but the cool thing with this is it's crowdfunded. So we have a GoFundMe set up. Every single penny that's coming into the GoFundMe, super chats, if you buy shirts on my site, if you become a member at HomesteadHow, I'm not taking any of that. I hate the fact that there's so many other diets out there that they're all biased and there's propaganda because someone's selling you something at the end of it. There was a vegan documentary that came out a couple of years ago, and it turned out like the people that were producing it, they were selling all these vegan products, and there's all sorts of bias in there. And I'm trying to not have that in this. So if you end up contributing to it, we appreciate it. And I just want people to know none of that money is going into my pocket to profit me. I put thousands of dollars of my own money into it and my own time into it. And it's more of a passion project for sure. So if you're thinking about doing carnivore and you're scared to do it, do more research. I guess that's my last message for people.
Yeah.
So many people out there, they come to me, Alex, you're probably going to start getting this more on your YouTube channel. And they're like, Tell me exactly what to do. They want me to hold their hand and make the decision for them to do it. I'm like, you can't, you have to make the decision. If you're not comfortable deciding to do carnivore or the proper human diet or keto into carnivore, that's fine. Don't do it, but do something. And the something is so simple. Go onto YouTube, type in Dr. Chafee carnivore basics video or Dr. Barry carnivore mistakes or whatever your concern is. If it's fiber or you're going to clog your arteries, those questions have all been asked and answered, but you need to find the truth for yourself and do the research yourself. And it drives me nuts when people don't want to do it. We're so blessed to have this information at our fingertips, and it's free. This information changed my life, and it's free. It's just free.
Absolutely. I've got like 5 top reasons which I wanted to talk about today for doing carnivore. Mine are, it's simple. It's just it's simplicity itself. And my weight loss has been phenomenal. And that's led to everything else, the health conditions, the mental conditions, elimination of all the rubbish that I used to eat. I still get temptations to have it, but even if I do try anything like, I don't know, peanuts, crisps, after one mouthful, that's it. My brain has totally said, that's not for you anymore. And it's nutrient dense. There's 5 of many reasons why. You know, I say to people on my videos, you don't have to be carnivore yet, but think about eliminating all the rubbish, all the stuff that we buy in the supermarket. I'm an amazing advocate of supporting local businesses, and that's where you get the good stuff from. My local butchers, I go into it and they say, hi, Al, how are you? We've had 3 people in this week who know you and Kerry from HomesteadHow. And for me, that's how it starts. It's like, you know, it's not us versus them, but it's amazing how you can get a message out through YouTube, Instagram, and, you know, that's great stuff. A couple of questions really before you go. Are you on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media?
Yes. Yeah, I don't post to them as often as YouTube, but yeah, if you look up HomesteadHow on Instagram and HomesteadHow on Facebook, I am on there. I also post a ton. I'm doing it way more now to my YouTube community tab. And we've been blessed with so many members. So if you want to become a member, you can pay like a couple dollars a month. And if you do that, you get all sorts of insider info. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. I'm trying to post to that more and more, but I posted a thing yesterday. We'll post updates about the carnivore diet documentary before other people do. And I did a live stream a couple days ago, and I invited all of the members. I was like, if you want to share your story on the live stream, it was members only. So we're doing a lot more members only stuff. I'm going to be we have enough members now where I can justify, we're just going to do a members only video. So there's a lot of extra stuff you get from that. And again, every single penny, carnivore diet documentary. So it's really helping us get this thing going.
That's fantastic. I'm not, it's not an age thing, but I'm not really a lover of Instagram. I've been on Twitter since I started my journey, and I've got some fantastic support. It's quite brutal, Twitter, to be honest, but there is a carnivore community page which I've signed up for, and then you don't have any negative. It's all about members only. So if anyone's thinking of going onto Twitter, guys, not for my particular page, but you know, don't just go on it. Go in to try and find a community page. I think that really helps a lot. Next one. When are we going to get together? When am I going to come over to Wisconsin?
Anytime. Hey,
I'd love to.
Seriously, I would love to have you here anytime you want. You have an open invite. We'll take you over to the movie theater, give you a tour, show you around the homestead. It's going to be fun because today will be the trial run with my friend JT coming over, because he's you and him. I guess there's probably others out there, but you, Alex, and JT are the only people I've spoken to that are like, I was watching your homestead videos for a while before you did this carnivore thing, and you've both been on the homestead side and the carnivore side. So JT is like, he's so funny. It's going to be a lot of fun.
He is so cool, isn't he? So cool. I've been watching his short, and he's really getting the handle on the editing.
Yes.
And I'm going to hopefully get together with him next week or two. So I'll send you a message on that one.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Yellowstone, you know, the TV series.
Yes.
And I think Montana, there's places like that. And I think that's probably why I started watching HomesteadHow, because my dream is to just get away, you know. I know I'm retired from my stressful job from 15 years ago, but I've never gone to the next level of either going to a warm climate or a beautiful climate. And where you live in, is it Montello? And it just looks absolutely stunning. Have you always lived there, Kerry?
No, we've been here for, well, I started YouTube when we moved here, so it's been about 8 years. Before this, we lived kind of more in a very busy sort of city area where you'd hear cars honking their horn and it was loud. And
Yeah.
this is kind of a good testament to carnivore. This is something I've learned on carnivore, is the more natural you get in life, everything's better. So carnivore is the natural diet we're supposed to be eating. And being out here in the woods, I'm so blessed and fortunate. I know not everybody can do it, but walking around in the woods or with my shoes off, the natural way humans probably walked around since the start of time, everything's always better that way when it's more natural. But yeah, I'd love to have you out anytime, and vice versa. No pressure. I always lead with that one, but I just got my passport, and I would love to come out there at some point if you want. No pressure, and film your story on the aging portion of the carnivore diet documentary. So we can always talk about that more later, but you're in Liverpool, right?
I live I'm from Liverpool, but I live just outside. It's a town called Widnes. It's lots of Scousers or, Liverpool people live here. We've lived here since 1987, I think. I didn't think we'd live here that long, but it's a lovely small town, dead friendly. Lots of people of character, and I say, we've settled into it, but I would love to, I don't know, maybe a more country environment. I've got that desire for it. I've had it for a long time. Carnivore makes it even stronger for me. But I say, when I watch your outside videos or your outside broadcasts, I sit there and go, oh, I've got to find out how much it costs to fly to Wisconsin. Yeah. Hey. So you are lucky, mate. You're very lucky.
Yes. Yeah. So anytime, you're welcome. And we can talk more about if I ever go by you, but there's so many other people, obviously, in London or England or your area. I've been talking to this one gentleman. His name is Salt Rock. Coolest name ever. You guys might sound familiar because I've mentioned it a few times, but he's like an hour or two from you. And he's a carnivore. He's thriving. He's actually acted alongside Rob Lowe, and he's done a bunch of documentaries and he's done feature films. He's about to start doing a feature film, which to me is like the coolest thing in the whole world. So, but there's other carnivores I've been talking to. So at some point, it would be cool to get out that way and talk to a bunch of different carnivores and talk to Rock Salt too in particular. But yeah, anytime you want to come up. So in fact, right here, a lot of people will be like, what the heck is this background? Because it's a little bit different. This is our Airbnb rental. We just had a guest leave yesterday. So it's a whole apartment on the homestead, separate from my house with a separate entrance. There's a kitchen. There's this thing. Actually, I think I'm making some steaks for JT later. We're going to eat them over on the table over there. The air conditioning's better up here. It's just a little bit, it's a little bit calmer. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I think I've run out of questions, and I'd be amazed if you ever stop rambling. But it's been great to it's been great to talk to you again. Thanks for all your support, Kerry. On when I send you messages, I know I pester you a lot with questions, but it's really helped me develop the channel. Today, I think we're on 1,878 subscribers. That's since our interview was it July? Now, that is crazy. And, I'm going to gush a little bit, but it's all thanks to you, mate. You've really helped me so much. I'm trying to keep it real. People say to me, Alex, don't change, keep it, keep the mistakes in your videos. I'm trying to make it more, professional, but I'm minded of the fact that people don't want it to be that way. So again, I just want to thank you for all your help. Have you got anything else to say before we finish?
Yeah, one last thing on the bottom of the screen, because there's a lot of people on my channel watching this too. We're streaming to both channels at the same time. Check out Alex's channel. I appreciate your nice words, Alex, but it's all you. You're doing it. I'm happy to help if I can. So Carnivore for Life 65. Go subscribe if you're just from my channel and you haven't heard Alex's story yet. And you're doing great on the videos. I totally agree. Some people start YouTube and they're like, I got to edit this. I got to get a drone. I got to no, they just want to hear, Alex, your story and your updates and what's life like as you're thriving as a carnivore and you're doing all of that. So yeah, everyone go check out Carnivore for Life 65 if you're from my channel. And yeah, we got a couple of videos we did together as well. So
yeah, I was going to, just before we go, I'm trying to persuade Michelle to do something with me, because obviously she's unintentional keto. I mean, we've always had what we thought was a great diet in terms of like, unfortunately it was high carb, low fat. But Michelle is not a lover of meat, very similar to Jen. And I would love to get her to come on. And she said, I'm not carnivore. And I said, well, you don't have to be carnivore. We're on nutrition journeys. We're away from all the, the sad diets, if you can call them that. And so watch this space. Hopefully you'll try and get it on soon. I'm hopefully going to do a video at the end of September with Paula. She's a friend of ours, and she's a tradesperson. She's excited about this so much. And a partner as well has started to do carnivore. I've got a couple of friends who I mentioned in our previous video. They've maintained the weight loss. So maybe I might do a little StreamYard myself and get some of my friends and family on.
Yes. Oh, do it. I know you said you were a little nervous, but this was great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You got it, Alex. Just do it. People love hearing those other stories for sure. Yeah. StreamYard makes it really easy. So yeah, I'd encourage you to do more of that. And yeah, hearing Michelle's story, that's a wonderful idea. Jen has been doing shorts just on, and she said the exact same thing. I'm keto. I shouldn't be on here. I'm like, no. And a lot of people are keto and then they go to carnivore, or some people, everybody's different. So Jen's shorts have been more popular than my shorts. I'm like, what's going on here? She's taking over the channel with the keto stuff. So yeah, people love to hear it. That'd be great. I'll watch it too.
Yeah. Another thing as well, I want to shout out to my daughter, Sophie. She's 31. She's married to Andy. He's 32. He's really good on fitness. She's lost over 7 kilos now, I think, since she started in July. And I think she's had a few issues as well, personal issues over like weight. And again, this all connects to what we're doing. You have to show people. You can't tell them. You've got to show them. And I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah. Good job, Sophie. That's awesome.
We've got 211 people watching at the moment. So I'll lead on to saying thanks everybody for watching today and tuning in. And I'm thankful to all my subscribers for all your support. I've had some amazing comments. Some, a lot of people give me suggestions on what to do. So this won't be my last live stream, that's for sure.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone watching. Appreciate it. Carnivore community is the best community. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. Yeah. And thank you, Alex. This has been a lot of fun.
Okay. Thanks, Kerry. You take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.